Hello, welcome back to Blender LiveNoding. I will be using Blender 2.79 and SVerchok nodes, the the one that's merged 2D and kind of slice it. So yeah, let's get started. So merge mesh 2D. So this is gonna be the nodes we will be using mainly. Let's call it circle cutter. Okay, so I think I will be using it with circle today, and I will be using polygon grid, and we're gonna use apply matrix apply. So this will create a bunch of circles on kind of in a arranged in the grid. So the result is looking something like this. So it can be like vertices and edges. Oh, the edges is not showing because, oh, if we want edges, we need to plug in the edges. But if you want the faces, you already get it. So you already got the idea. We want to do the cutter of this circle on top of each other. And of course, we also need the outer part. So we're gonna use plane. Let's center our, oh, it's already centered. Okay, and then the plane, and the result is looking something like this. Let's center our planar and then grow this like 8 times. Oops, maybe 14. Now you can already tell we already get the result, right? So if we bake it, we have this mesh which is actually already pretty clean and good to go. If we go to edit mode and select some faces, so we can see we could actually like delete this face manually, and the rest of them, like all this, actually like a cutter. We already got the cookie that we can cut. Interesting, right? So let's actually do it like this with the mask. So list mask. Still, I found this slightly tricky, but this is the face data, right? This is the mask. Level is normally 2, and then the output goes into the face. So this is pretty clean, despite there's some extra vertices. Of course, we need to clean up. Delete loose. Delete all the vertices that doesn't have any polygon connections. And this is actually clean. Okay, we can then polygon boom and separate all the parts. So we can do a lot of things at this point, really. For example, inside the node tree itself, we can actually look at the area and then maybe delete or separate the face that's actually small, like this little part. So we can separate it with the one that's the bigger one. There's actually already nodes for that. It's called area. So before we do the polygon boom, so what if we pass in the polygons? Count faces, yeah, maybe leave that area. So if we look at the stethoscope, so there should be area that's smaller and there's bigger one. So we can use logic. So if this value is smaller than 2, give result, which is going to be like true and false. So this can become a new mask. So this is the mask, true or false. This is the data, and then this is the vertices, and this is the output. There you go. Yeah, it's still interesting. Not very easy, but it's a very, very powerful once you understand it. So okay, so there you go. I clean up the polygons, whether we want this part. Okay, this one. Oh, okay. Here, I need to turn on Ngon. So now it's clean. So I'm basically doing this logic that's separating the outside and the inside. So you can actually get this part as well. So separating the one we don't want, but only like keeping that guy inside. So you can basically have some kind of logic here, less than or bigger than, 0.5, and then you combine the two with n. So this logic expression is not always easy, but once you understand it, it's really, very powerful. So I'm trying to get just the middle part. So now with all this logic, I want to get the data that's true. There you go. So I got just the star. Okay, and then I can bake it, and then this is the result. I thought that's kind of neat. And of course we can always go back and look and then make some changes. We can randomize the position of the grid if you like. Randomize in X and Y. So we have all kind of random cookie. So that's just an idea. But I quite like this design. Play around with the radius of the circle. We might get interesting result. Or maybe in this case, we don't get anything. This arrangement can be hexagon, can be triangle. So, but remember we use a lot of logic and filter over here. What's interesting, however, is this mask A and mask B that you can also use together with some kind of logic. Currently we are using this plane as the bounding box. There must be a better way to do that, but I guess for this I'm pretty much done. So here, polygon, boom, we have we have now 20 different stars, and because this is SVerchok, and you can actually kind of randomize the scale as well. So we have 20, we give different value and factor in. Plug there. Okay. So we have random stars. The locations can actually come from the grid, but let's just use plain 4 by 5. So we have 20. Plug into the locations. Okay, we need to vector drop, and there we go. Pretty interesting. This is the size of the star, and this is the largest size. You can randomize it. So that's kind of like the hard way to make this kind of star, but just an idea. All right. Okay, so thanks again for tuning in, and hopefully this is useful. Let me know if you have any question, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.